Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving into something huge, something that touches every single one of us: evaluation in education. You know, grades, tests, the whole thing. It can literally shape a student's entire school experience. But what if we've been getting it all wrong?
Okay, let's start with a feeling I think we all know. You remember this, right? That feeling of getting a test back. That little knot in your stomach, maybe it's excitement, maybe it's pure dread, right before your eyes land on that one single letter or number, usually circled in red. And that one mark, that's supposed to be it. The sum total of all your hard work, all your understanding, just boiled down to a symbol.
So let's just pause on that for a second. What if the whole point wasn't the grade at all? I mean, really think about that. This single question, it kind of turns a core idea in education completely on its head. It opens up this whole new possibility for a much more powerful, more authentic way of learning. A way that's not about being judged, but just about getting better.
All right, Section 1, Beyond the Red Pen. So let's really dig in. To get why this is such a big shift, we first have to understand that there are basically two completely different ways of thinking. Two logics, if you will, that are behind how we do evaluation in schools. Okay, so here are the two big ideas. On one hand, you've got what we call selective logic. Think of it like a filter or a sorting hat. Its main job is to figure out who the best students are, usually based on one final score. It assumes some will succeed and others, well, won't. But then you have inclusive logic, and this is a total game changer. It's not about sorting at all. It's about growing. The goal here is for every single student to learn successfully. It's all about the journey, the process, and the progress they make along the way. And this quote from Anidrovich and Cappelletti just nails it. They say evaluation is an opportunity for students to visibilize their achievements and recognize their weaknesses and strengths. I love that word, visibilize. It's not about a final grade stamped on a paper. It's about making the learning journey visible. It becomes this active tool, a chance for students to actually see what they've done well and figure out for themselves where they can go next.
Okay, Section 2, The Art of Formative Feedback. So, if we're going to evaluate to learn, what's the actual engine that makes that happen? Well, it all boils down to one really powerful concept: formative feedback.
So what is formative feedback exactly? Well, here's the key thing to get. It's not a post-mortem. It's not about looking back and saying, yep, that went wrong. No, it's a tool for right now, for the present, that helps us figure out what to do next. It's this live stream of information that lets both the student and the teacher adjust what they're doing on the fly to get better results. It's all about improvement.
And this table just lays it all out so clearly. Look at the difference. Grading on the left, its whole focus is retrospective. It's looking backward. Its purpose? To slap a label on something, to certify or rank. And the relationship is totally hierarchical, right? Teacher up here, student down there. But then look at feedback on the right. It's prospective. It's looking forward to what's next. Its purpose isn't to rank. It's to improve. And the relationship? It's collaborative. It's a partnership. It's a conversation designed to build a bridge from where a student is now to where they could be.
All right, Section 3, a practical feedback toolkit. This all sounds great in theory, right? But how do we actually do it? Let's get practical and build a toolkit. We're going to break this down into two parts. First, the strategy, like how and when you give feedback. And second, the content, what you actually say. So for the strategy part, think of it like you're at a control panel with 4 big levers you can pull. Each one helps you fine-tune your feedback to make it as effective as possible. The levers are time, quantity, mode, and audience. Now, using these levers is a bit of an art form. You've got to be strategic. For example, time. A quick spelling mistake? Yeah, you want immediate feedback so they can just fix it and move on. But a really complex essay, maybe you want to delay that feedback, give them some space to think about it themselves first. And quantity. This is huge. Don't drown them in red ink. The goal isn't to point out every single mistake. Just focus on 2 or 3 really key things that'll make the biggest difference. It's all about being intentional. Okay, so we've talked about the how, the strategy. But you know what? There's something even more important. The real magic, the real power of feedback isn't in how you deliver it, it's in what you're actually talking about, the content.
And research points to 3 different things we can focus our feedback on.
First up, you can focus on the person. Stuff like, you are so creative, or you're a natural at this. And look, that feels good, right? It can definitely be a little self-esteem boost. But the problem is, it doesn't really tell a student what to do next. How do you repeat being creative if you don't know what you did that was creative in the first place?
Okay, so a step better is to focus on the product, the thing they made. Something like, this is a well-argued essay. Now, this is definitely more helpful because it's focused on the work. It tells the student that the end result was good. But it's still missing a key piece of the puzzle. It doesn't really explain why it was a good essay.
And that brings us to the third and by far the most powerful target, the process. This is where you get super specific about the actions the student took. For example, you use 3 different sources really effectively to build your argument. See the difference? You're not just praising the outcome, you're highlighting the specific moves they made to get there.
So, which one of these truly helps a student grow? Oh, it's not even a contest. It's the process-focused feedback, every single time. And here's why. It's not just a compliment, it's a blueprint. It gives the student a repeatable strategy that they can use again and again. It shifts the conversation from a vague judgment like, you're smart, to something way more empowering like, here is the exact smart thing you did, and here's how you can do it again.
Okay, section 4, from feedback to autonomy. Because that's really the end game here. This isn't just about giving better comments on papers. The ultimate goal is to build a whole culture in the classroom, a place where feedback isn't just something the teacher gives and the student gets. It's the fuel for creating independent, self-sufficient learners.
And to make that happen, we have to completely ditch the idea of feedback as a one-way street, where the teacher just talks and the student just listens. It can't be a monologue. The goal is to turn it into a genuine dialogue, a real back-and-forth conversation about the learning itself, where everyone is building understanding together. But let's be real, a lot of feedback just doesn't work. It falls flat. It often looks a lot like this quote here. The work is weak, you didn't identify the relevant ideas. Ouch. It's vague, it's judgmental, and it's completely backward-looking. It tells the student you failed, but it gives them 0 tools, 0 clues on how to do better next time.
But now, look at this, a formative solution. For your next draft, try using a concept map to help you identify the relevant ideas. It's like night and day, isn't it? This comment is specific, it's forward-looking, and this is the crucial part. It offers a concrete strategy, a tool the student can actually pick up and use. It's not a verdict, it's an invitation.
So after all this, all the talk about logics and levers and feedback, what does it all boil down to? What's the one single thing at the very heart of it all? Well, it's this. The number one goal, the whole point of this entire shift is to build a student's autonomy. And this is why it matters so much. This is the big payoff. An autonomous learner is a student who can step back and say, okay, what do I need to learn here? How am I going to learn it? And then afterward, they can reflect on how it went. We're not just teaching them history or math. We're teaching them how to be the architects of their own learning. We're giving them the tools to think about their own thinking.
So in the end, it all comes down to a fundamental shift, a shift in the questions we ask. We have to stop asking the question that just looks in the rearview mirror and start asking this one instead. What will we do next to improve? Because that one question, man, it changes everything. It takes evaluation from being a dead end, a final grade, and turns it into a starting line for the next lap. It turns a grade into a real conversation, and it helps turn a student into a truly autonomous lifelong learner.